Anxiety is a feeling of fear, worry, or unease that can range from mild to severe, and it can be an awful thing to experience when it won't go away. The symptoms we experience from anxiety is really just our brain's way of preparing our body to fight or flee when it believes we're in danger, which was really useful for our ancestors when they had to escape from or fight off predators. But in today's world, our brain's anxiety response can kick in even when not actually in any real danger, which can really interfere with our daily lives. When anxiety becomes overwhelming and persistent, it can get in the way of doing day-to-day tasks, performing our best at work or school, spending time with our family and friends, and can make it incredibly difficult to cope with life's challenges. This often leaves us feeling completely drained. There are a variety of factors that can contribute to the development of anxiety. Research has shown that anxiety is inherited. This means that anxiety disorders can often run in families. For some people, imbalances in certain neurotransmitters such as serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine can contribute to the experience and development of anxiety. Negative experiences during childhood, stressful life events, trauma, abuse, or significant life changes can often trigger or worsen anxiety. Chronic illnesses, hormonal imbalances, or other medical conditions can also contribute to the development of anxiety. Certain personality traits such as perfectionism, neuroticism, or negative thinking patterns can also increase the risk of a person developing anxiety. Substances like alcohol, drugs, and certain medications can also heighten or trigger symptoms of anxiety. Typical signs of anxiety include feeling constantly worried about various aspects of your life, sometimes feeling on edge, being easily irritated or agitated. Sometimes you can experience difficulty concentrating because of racing thoughts. Sometimes you might notice more muscle tension and tightness than usual, and sometimes having a lot of trouble falling or staying asleep. Symptoms of anxiety can often manifest in a variety of different ways for different people, but these are some common signs that a person might be dealing with underlying anxiety issues. Many people don't even realize they're dealing with anxiety because they often brush off symptoms like it's just regular stress or worry. Sometimes there's just not enough awareness about how anxiety shows up, leading people to, shrug off their feelings. But knowing the signs for anxiety and seeking help can make a really big difference in managing anxiety. You can support someone experiencing anxiety by simply being present, listening to them, encouraging self-care, maybe offering help with tasks that they might find difficult, and if needed, maybe gently encouraging them to seek professional support. By creating a safe and understanding space, showing empathy, offering a helping hand, and maybe encouraging some professional support, you can build a strong support system for someone dealing with anxiety. Remember, even the smallest gesture of care and compassion can really make a big difference in someone's mental health journey. When it comes to dealing with anxiety, there are a few different treatment options that you can explore. Therapy can be a great option to help people develop a range of strategies to manage their thinking and behaviour in order to effectively reduce their anxiety symptoms. Therapy can also empower people by showing them how to manage their anxiety by recognising and changing their thoughts and sometimes beliefs. Therapy can also really help a person identify and change aspects of their behaviour that might worsen or keep that anxiety going. Sometimes medication might be needed, especially for more severe cases of anxiety, but there are plenty of lifestyle changes that you can make to help manage your anxiety. These might include regular exercise, maintaining a healthy diet, getting enough sleep, reducing caffeine and alcohol intake, and sometimes engaging in mindfulness or meditation practices. And also building a strong support network can really be helpful. Remember, finding what works for you, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, or some other technique, can make a really big difference in managing your anxiety. There are plenty of strategies out there to help you feel more relaxed and in control of what's going on. But keep in mind, just because something doesn't work the first time doesn't mean you can't overcome your anxiety. Keep trying until you find what works for you. If you're somebody who's experienced anxiety for a really long time, it can often feel as though anxiety has taken over your life. Anxiety works in a cycle. When you notice you're feeling anxious, you often think that you can't cope with the situation, and therefore that in itself causes you to feel anxious. And therefore often we avoid different situations. And this is the start of the vicious cycle of anxiety. However, anxiety doesn't have to be something that takes over your life. Taking care of yourself by regularly doing things like exercise, getting enough sleep, eating well, can often make a really big difference in how you feel day to day. by using a mix of therapy, maybe making some lifestyle changes, and finding ways that you can relax, you can find ways to break that cycle of anxiety and take back control. Anxiety is something that we all experience day to day. We can sometimes feel anxious when we're public speaking. Maybe sometimes ordering a coffee can make us feel a bit anxious when we're talking to someone we don't know. But it's when anxiety gets in the way of us actually going to work. Maybe gets in the way of us spending time with our friends and family, that it can be a real problem and can really disrupt our life. So often if we're kind of dismissed on the experience we're having, it can also cause us to feel a little bit invalidated. And then often we really struggle to kind of recognize those signs and symptoms in us and recognize that what we're going through is really, I guess, impacting our day-to-day life, and seeking and reaching out for help can be a really important way to, I guess, address what's going on for you. If you've been feeling anxious, it can range from mild to severe. If you're feeling so anxious that maybe you can't go to work, can't spend time with friends, the best thing to do is reach out to your local GP. This way you can, I guess, really get that professional support that you need. GPs have a variety of sources and people they can recommend you to and refer you to. If you don't have access to a local GP, there are so many telehealth services out there that can allow you to speak with another professional and get some advice and understanding of what's going on for you, and find actionable steps to, I guess, address how you're feeling in order to have that overall positive well-being and live that life anxiety-free. Yeah, I think a really important first step is just checking in with how someone's going. If you've noticed, I guess, your friends maybe withdrawing a little bit more, becoming more isolated, you notice they're avoiding different situations, and maybe you suspect they're experiencing some anxiety, I think the best thing to do is approach them and just ask them how they're going, ask them how they're feeling, check in with, I guess, what they're doing and what they're doing with their own time and how they're feeling at home and if they're feeling safe. And I think as well, it can be a great way to, I guess, incorporate your own experiences, maybe saying, hey, my sister actually experiences anxiety too, and I've noticed that, I guess, what you're going through is really similar to what she's going through. And that can be a really nice way to ease into a conversation with someone, to make them feel heard and make them feel valued and make them feel that, I guess, the anxiety they're going through is a completely normal thing. And it's okay to speak up and talk about what's going on. In today's day and age, the word anxiety has been thrown around a lot. People say they feel anxious for a variety of different reasons. And I think because the term is so widely used, often people that do experience anxiety kind of brush it off as, oh, it's just something that we all experience, which is completely normal. But I think addressing the anxiety that you're feeling is such an important thing to do. You don't have to live with that feeling constantly, that constant state of feeling on edge, feeling agitated, being worried about what's going on, being worried about the past and overthinking different situations. So even though it's a term that is commonly used now, it doesn't undermine the experience and how you're feeling. And it can be a really, really brave thing to speak up and say, hey, what I'm going through is really tough. But addressing it, speaking to someone, understanding what that means for you can be such a really great step. And you can learn a lot about yourself in that process as well.